saying? The closed-minded folks, you know what I'm saying? It's like we got a demo tape and nobody want to hear it, but it's like this, the South got something to say.
But yeah, thank you for tuning in to another edition of Jive Time Turkeys. I'm A Prince 15 this evening. I'm joined by
S. Carter, Stephen Carter.
And
I don't do my tags, man. I don't want people watching me, man.
I feel you. I understand. But we'll start off with some NBA rumors in the last 24 hours, I'd say. Definitely been buzzing with your city, Houston. The Rockets got some turmoil happening, you know. On the show, we've talked about definitely the Houston-Philly dynamic with Morey going from Houston to Philly. I personally don't think any trade between Houston and Philly should happen, just because I'm like, I don't know, man, that should have looked too crazy. But now we have reports of Westbrook wanting out, doesn't want to play with Harden, and some people are saying they might as well just blow everything up. I mean, what's your take on it? What's your feeling?
So I was told, my little in-town fan groups, that the majority of it is not true. The only thing that's really true is Westbrook. And really it makes sense because he needs to have the ball in his hands. And he can't shoot threes anyway. So him working with Harden, it could work, but what has to happen is Harden needs to take a step back. And Harden's not going to do that, right? So Westbrook needs to be the point guard, bring it up the court, pick and roll, drive, and then kick it to Harden. Mm-hmm. Which that could work, but I don't think Harden will want to do that. So I'm assuming that's what Westbrook is like. Now I talked to him and it's not going to work. But the majority of this other stuff has been either old stuff that they're just now bringing up, or just flat out stories. Like they'll talk about PJ Tucker was mad.
Yeah.
And he basically came out and said, no, he said that's all cap.
Yeah, I believe that one, because I feel like PJ Tucker, like if he got something to say, he gonna say it with his whole chest. He's not gonna hide behind or leak it out of sources. He will come out and say, nah, I'm not feeling it. The Westbrook Harden dynamic, like, I mean, that was foreseeable from a mile away. Like, they built to be a good regular season team, but when it comes down to it and it get tight, like, one, Westbrook can't shoot, so he has to have the ball, as you just said. Like, he has to have it. And two, Harden's not going to give that up after being the man for all that time in Houston. He's not going to give it up. Like, it's just not when the game tips off and it gets crunch time, he's just not going to be like, all right, I'm going to go stand over here while you run the offense. It's just going to be too disjointed. And so now it's like, okay, well, what do they do? How do they trade him? How do they get rid of him? And he has that big contract, and they gonna trade for Chris Paul again? I don't think that's happening again. So it's gonna be.
So they said the Clippers, the Hornets, and the Knicks have all expressed that they're interested in Westbrook. The Clippers is probably gonna make the most sense, but they have to give up like almost 6 players.
Yeah, I'm about to say they don't have any picks now, though. That's right. You don't have no picks, so I don't see them. And then even on the court, I mean, Kawhi would defer a lot of the time, but I feel like when it came crunching to them, Kawhi would be like, yo, give me the ball. Because, like, I feel like in the Clippers series, like, most of the time it was like, all right, Kawhi, then you look up and Kawhi done scored the last 11, and you're like, oh, okay, damn, he just kind of quietly did it. And like Westbrook is not, he just can't sit in the corner, and like if he doesn't have the ball, he can't be on the court offensively. Like he's just not.
I mean, he can't shoot, so he needs to be on the team with a whole bunch of shooters. But I don't know. And what from my research I've heard is Chris Paul is probably gonna go to the Clippers.
What is going on? It's like OKC just find the same people to keep trading with. It's like
I mean, here Rondo's going.
Hey, it's rumor time, so it's all kinds of stuff
Yeah.
out there.
This
the
is the
draft
time of the year.
It's the best.
Yeah, I saw Paul George going to the Warriors for that number 2 draft pick, and then and then Paul George, and then Chris, then the rest for Chris Paul. So yeah, it's that time of year.
Something's gonna happen. Like it's just Chris Paul. The OKC is not like I feel like they realized they struck gold last year at how good they were, and they don't want to try to get lightning twice because like Chris Paul ain't gonna be happy if they're like a 8 seed. And so last year he pushed them to get a 4 seed, but you saw they kind of fizzled out at the end, like, and they don't want to pay him all that money. Honestly, I think that's what it comes down to. They don't want to be the ones paying them all that cash.
But see, they don't. Who they gonna trade with? I saw the Suns.
To the Suns too. Yeah,
but
Suns
that's gonna put them in the same spot. The Suns not ready to make a playoff run.
I don't know if they had another week. I think they'd have caught that A seed.
Yeah, but what are they gonna
playoffs.
Do? Yeah.
I mean, but whatever. All those teams in the AC wasn't going to do nothing against the Lakers. So like, it always in the audition for next year.
I mean, that's the thing.
I mean, what changed
Chris Paul that $40 million.
Yeah, but I mean, you get that floor general. You get that. He already showed you what he could do with a young team if they focused. Then you hope that the bubble Suns that you saw was a team that was focused and ready to make the next jump, and you get that veteran. Because you have to kind of do something to show Booker you're gonna be contenders, or else he's getting ready to walk. And so, I mean, you got to go for it. You don't want to not go for it and end up like, I mean, I don't know. Everybody's been going for it. It just hasn't worked out. I mean, so I don't know. I mean, let's go see because that's on the West. What about East with Giannis? Like, I don't think he should sign the deal. Fuck that Supermax right now. Why make it comfortable for y'all? Why make it so in the playoffs I'm the only one that's going to be uncomfortable because I'm going to be the 2-time MVP that hasn't made the NBA Finals yet, and I signed a Supermax deal. No.
But you know what? Of all the people, I think he's that dude, though.
I don't think so.
Like, at the end of the day, all the other stuff doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Like, winning, of course, but I don't think he's like, I need to team up with somebody to get this, and I need to go here.
I don't know if he looks at it as teaming up. I think he might look at it as putting himself in the best position to win. Because I don't know. His brother just brought back a championship, and like that sibling rivalry might be like, because his brother might be telling him, "Yo, bro, they don't think you could win that shit in Milwaukee. Like I'm around them every day, and they saying that shit ain't doable. And I know you can run it. You think you can run through a wall, but sometimes behind those bricks are steel. And sometimes you just need to go find the other piece of the wall that don't got no steel in it. And I don't know. It limits his options because after that,
where's he going though? Where's he gonna go?
Miami.
I mean, you could once he becomes a free agent, like at that point, you go wherever they go stack the teams for him. I think by not signing the deal, he makes Milwaukee still have to, like the GM, you still got to do your job. You got to make sure you get somebody in here to keep improving. And if he signs the deal and be like, well, we don't have any money. We gave all our money to Giannis. And nope.
He's that dude, though. Of all the people, he's that dude, though. I trust the organization.
Here's a question. Would you have thought that about KD before he left? You thought KD was that dude to stay in Oklahoma City?
No. Not Kevin Durant. No. Because he'd already been saying, little stuff here and there prior to leaving. Giannis hasn't been saying a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? He's not okay. We right now we think he's not vocal and he's not on social media like that. But you ain't heard nothing about, it'll be good to play with somebody else or. So that's what I'm saying. He of all those people, he might be that guy to say, okay, I'm gonna give the organization a chance. He might even take a pay cut and say, let's do it here. I don't think it's smart. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
but
yeah, well, we will see. Another hot rumor that kind of leads into another top NBA topic. Well, actually a couple, but the first one I'll start off with is Bradley Beal has been rumored to go several places. I don't understand like the Wizards doing this now instead of the beginning of last year. I mean, I get he's played another year, but now it's like give the Wizards hope with John Wall coming back, but now you can ready have his running mate on the block. I mean, I guess I gotta see if they trade him and what they get back, but I don't understand what they're doing. Like, what are they building for the future? But are they trying to go right now? Because they literally just gave John Wall close to $45 million a year that kicks in next year, I believe. So what's happening here? And the reason
I don't think Washington knows what's happening here. They just whatever happens, and the kind of when they get to something and they're like, well, let's do this or let's try this. And
yeah,
I don't think it's a real plan. They had a plan for John Wall and then things kind of went sideways. And so now they're kind of like screwed.
Yeah. I mean, they made some, I don't know. I think some of it was bad timing, but some of it was definitely some mistakes in personnel.
Yeah.
But I did want to touch on what John Wall said about the NBA being too soft compared to when Gilbert Arenas was in the league, which I thought was a real, I don't know. I thought picking that name was a little bit like, huh? Like, I get the refrain from like Barkley, Pippen, that era, but like Gilbert Arenas, like it was pretty friendly. Like I don't understand, like it was pretty friendly. Like LeBron went and tapped my man on the free throw line, and no goon got in his face. Nobody said anything. Like he just proceeded to miss the free throws, and they went home. I don't understand. So I don't know. What do you think of that one? You think he's right?
I think it's all relative. I think that's just his eras that he can relate to. You know what I mean? Because us growing up, they're like, oh, basketball wasn't like this in the 70s, and so for him, it's a difference, but it's not. For us looking at it, it's like, what you talking about? But for him, maybe it's like, man, they actually did play defense and they actually fouled people kind of hard, and it was not really, no real repercussions for stuff. Where now today, you get flagrant fouls, you out. And it's not even technical, it's just flagrants, you know what I mean? So it may be different. I think it's all relative. I don't disagree with him and I don't really agree with him. I just think from his perspective, that's a valid argument. And I can't disagree with him on that. Yeah. But it doesn't seem like a big difference because people wasn't dying out there with Gilbert Arenas. So
John Wall.
Yeah, John Wall comment.
Yeah, man. Niggas too buddy, man. Need to get back to that. But no, it's just I think it's with the teaming up sort of type of deal too. I think he was kind of speaking to that. I think he trying to keep Brad in town too. I think that it has roots to that in it.
That he should be talking to the management. Brad ain't asking to go out of town. Brad said
he might be talking to the management with that. But I was actually watching the podcast, and I watched it, and the No Chill joint, and it was they were speaking to how working out in the summertime, it's all good, and working on your moves that you don't normally do. But then when it's time to get to it in the games, it's like, all right, yeah, all that in the summer, all that's over with. I'm trying to rip your head off. And I think that's more what he was speaking towards, because he was with KD and Kyrie out there in California. And even Gil was talking about how when he was playing, it was kind of that same thing. Like, all right, that's where the run is. I'm coming out there, and this not floor general Gil. I'm telling everybody one thing. I'm trying to kill you. I'm putting up buckets. I'm not going to be passing to y'all during the season, so I'm not going to be passing it to you now. About games 9-11, I'm trying to score all 11 points. That's how it's going. So, like, yeah, I think that was kind of speaking towards that. But
I feel like that still happens now. Like, all those runs, summer league runs have been happening throughout the years of the NBA. I feel like when KD get on the court and it comes down to crunch time, it don't matter if he play with you in the summer. If it comes down to making that and taking that final shot to rip your heart out, he will do it. So, like, for me, I get the teaming up aspect. Like, okay, that's inarguable. That's totally different. I fall on the different side of it. Like, why not choose the place you want to work? But I understand that's a different viewpoint from my end. So that definitely can't be argued. But in terms of, like, I don't think summer runs impact, like, when people get on the court trying to give people 30, 40, 50. I think in some ways it, like, make people want to show out more. Like, yo, what I was doing in the summer, it was official. Like, I wasn't just giving you those buckets because it was summertime and we just out here at the gym. Nah. I'm putting in the work, and now I'm gonna give you 60 in real time just so you remember during the summer what I was doing. So, but we can switch it up to the NFL now. This Thursday night game has actually been a pretty good game. Titans and the Colts. Colts are actually up though. Look, about to be 34-17. They've had they got a block punt for a touchdown. And I think they stopped them on fourth or something. But yeah, they was down 17-13 and then just scored like 21 points in 5 minutes. So midway point of the NFL season, one undefeated team, the Steelers. But I don't know about you guys. They're not my Super Bowl favorite by a long shot. I understand I might be biased on the Steelers because they did just beat the Cowboys. But in a game that I found was far too close for a team that's supposed to be a Super Bowl contender. So that'll be my last thing about the Steelers for, I get to hating on them. But who's your Super Bowl favorite right now coming in, and what do you think the biggest thing going forward to look out for as the season comes down as the second half?
Man, you go first, man.
I like the Steelers. I mean, I definitely have a bias though, because that's a team that I do root for. But still, Kansas City and Seattle. But I think the Steelers, if Ben knees hold up, I mean that Dallas game, I think they kind of both his knees got kind of gimpy in that game. I think that lent itself to them being closer than it should have been. But I think the Steelers can beat Kansas City. Everybody wants to pick the Bucks, but the Bucks looked like shit last week, and so I'm like, I believe it when I see it with the Bucks, because even the offense looked bad, but the defense, I mean, yeah, New Orleans carved them up, and I mean, we all want to believe in Tom Brady, but I don't know. I think Brady and Belichick need each other. We'll see. But yeah.
Should never left, man.
Nah, he needed to go.
He had to, man. I think they told him this is kind of the throwaway year for my Patriots. the salary cap just got them, man, and it's just too much money where it shouldn't be, and players not playing and all that. It was just a bad year, man. But my Super Bowl favorite still the Chiefs, man. Like who, and it's gonna be somebody out of AFC that's gonna win it. So it's either the Chiefs, the Steelers, the Ravens. NFC, I mean the Saints and the Packers, and of course the Seahawks, but I don't know. Like they all have sizable faults, right? So I don't, I feel like the Titans could beat all of them, and the Titans getting blasted right now. So, I mean, the NFC is not. They can surprise somebody. My surprise team. Do you ask about surprise team?
Mm-hmm.
Surprise team, Arizona Cardinals, because they're going to be, the NFC East is terrible, so they're going to be in the playoffs, and then they're going to be able to sneak up on either the Saints or the Packers, right? And that's going to be a pretty even game. So they may end up playing the Seahawks for the conference, and because they play the Seahawks so much, they really know everything. They know each other. It could be like a toss-up, even though Seahawks really do have more talent probably, but Arizona Cardinals.
And I think because that's such a plausible thing, that speaks to how kind of weak the NFC is. Like, yeah. I mean, I won't believe in the Saints. I don't. Just not going to do that. They find a way to lose every year. The Packers, they don't have a second wide receiver, or like they barely have two offensive threats. I don't count Aaron Rodgers as like he's not an athletic threat. So they got one and Devontae Adams, and that's it. And then the Seahawks don't got a defense. Like their defense is terrible. Like terrible. And that's why you can't pick them to beat the Cardinals, because like Kyler Murray could go off on their defense. And it's just very plausible. And then Tom Brady, like 1 week, it looks like he was the one popping up the praise for 20 years. And then you got games like last week where it was like, God damn, Bill Belichick carried the shit out of you last year. Like, God damn. Whoa. So like, there's not a team in the NFC that's like, oh yeah, you can match up against the top from the AFC. And so it's going to be one of those Super Bowls where it's like, whoever comes out that AFC gauntlet, because it's going to be a gauntlet. Like for one, the Pittsburgh, Baltimore, they probably going to end up playing 3 times. That's going to be a slugfest. And then Kansas City just gets the weight off to the other side. And like, okay, well, whichever one of y'all go have to come back the next week and play us and be ready to put up 30, 35, 40 points. Because on our bad day, we still put up 27 to 30 points on a bad day, where our offense takes a half off. And I think that's just way too much. That's just a lot of pressure. Like Kansas City will have to play a terror. Like we saw the worst, like the AFC Championship, they was down double digits in the second quarter and won the game but the feeling of the game was at halftime, you knew Kansas City was going to win. Like, even though they were down double digits in the first half, we got to halftime. It was like, all right, Kansas City's about to win, so it's going to be Kansas City and whoever wins this next game, right?
Just too explosive, man. And then they got Le'Veon Bell. I don't know how you stop them. Like, they have to stop themselves, and they haven't been doing that. So,
but I think Le'Veon Bell is now that piece that, like, yeah, we want to get him one, and so like it's going to keep them humming like the machine, like, okay, and he's gonna keep it because he don't want to be the piece where it's like, damn, they was rolling, then you got there and sputter. Nah, he don't want that. They don't want that. It's gonna take a special game to knock them off in the playoffs. And like, we didn't even talk about Andy Reid, and like, he probably just sits around at night and it's like, oh, what can I think of this week? Like, right? Like did you see the play where like Mahomes is running away from the thing, and then he runs it like he's ready to run. The quarterback sweep, stops on a dime, pivots back out, and then throw. Like, what?
And dude is
That's some plays we think of in the dirt and shit. Like, yo, all right, this what I'm gonna do.
that's what I say. He had to be watching somebody like in the neighborhood and was just like, ooh,
That look
yeah,
good.
I could do that.
Yeah. We drove past a high school game on Friday, like, oh, I'm gonna take that one. Okay.
I'm gonna take that one. Yeah.
So
And it works though.
it works. It works. Like we haven't really seen it. Switching gears to the NFL draft, the Jets found a way to make sure they kept their stranglehold on the number one pick, giving up a 10-point lead to the Patriots on Monday night. So they're still winless. The Jaguars are picking second, and then the Cowboys are picking third. And that's a very precarious position for me as a Cowboys fan and as a Dak Prescott fan because if Jerry Jones has a chance to pick Trevor Lawrence, he will pick Trevor Lawrence, and Dak will go wherever he needs to go. And so, like, it's very plausible to me that Dallas ends the season 2-14. Like, it's very plausible. I mean, name me a team that they're undisputably better than. Can't even say that. But not even
the
that.
Redskins.
Well, only because I think they might have and I wish Lou was still on for this. Like, they might have a real QB curse. Like, if I'm Alex Smith, I don't know, man. Like, yo, you just put Haskins in. Like, just put him in.
He's still with the team.
Yeah, he gotta be with the team.
Because they sent him home. It was like a report that he wasn't with the team for one game that they went on the road or something.
Man broke his ankle. No, yo, you back up, dog. We ain't got no money to go get nobody else. Like, if I'm Alex Smith, I'm like, all right, hold on, time out. I already had my leg broken. like I don't need to be fighting this curse for y'all. I came back. I proved I could do it. But no. Go ahead, Haskins. Go show what you can do, bro. Because like it seems like outside forces are like this job should go to him, and we come hell or high waters will go to him. If I'm Alex, I don't need this. I prove what I could do. I go right back to being my backup, homie. You can say whatever you want. You can say I had a relapse in my leg. I don't give a damn. Nah, spot duty for me. Spot duty. Like, because I saw that hit. Like, I saw when they first showed it on Red Zone, and I was like, that was very violent. And then he didn't get up, and I saw the ref like waving it. I'm like, I was literally yelling I was watching on a laptop. I was yelling at the laptop, and London came to me and was like, Daddy, what are you talking about? I'm like, no, there was just a bad. And she's like, no, I want to see. I'm like, all right, well, you just look at this. And I was like, no, you're not seeing anymore. She's like, oh. And I was like, his leg was going the wrong way. And like, I don't need to see that no more. I'm good. But I was like, I was like, damn, that was really violent. And then he didn't get up, and the ref was like, yo, come on. I was like, oh, shit. Oh, wow. That's
hurt. Yeah.
And immediately I thought, damn, that Washington football team they might need to go ahead and put Haskins in. Like, this might be like a curse. Like this ain't no you got a sprained ankle, you out for 2 weeks and come back. Nah, bro, you're not playing no more this season. And then the backup is a dude who this already happened to. He literally said, yeah, that's what I'm bringing out the air card. And I know how that feels. You know,
that's why. Wasn't it Joe Theismann? And then they had Super Bowls. It was good. Ripken, and then but RG3 got hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Alex Smith. All of them like leg injuries, man.
Leg injuries. Because you thought you could win the division, and now that's what kills me. Like, the whole irony is this: it might come down to you having to rely on Haskins to win the division. Which, had you just done that from the start, you probably would be in a better position. At worst, you'd be in this position, but I feel you'd probably be in a better position if you had just played them all the way through and just lived with his lumps.
So what did Haskins do, man? Down here we don't get all the story. What did Haskins do? How did he get in the doghouse like that?
Well, one, they never liked him from the start. So this is not his coach. And then from two, like, if you don't like somebody, you will listen to the stories that put him in a negative light. And so the rap on Haskins was he didn't really work hard. And that was the rap when they drafted him. But the other wrap underneath that is when they fired Jay Gruden, he started working harder. And so to me, that says, well, damn, maybe he just didn't like this motherfucker Gruden if he didn't want to work hard for him. And so if you come in there and say, okay, look, like, to me, it was, they tried to feed him bullshit and he didn't take it. Because, like, if I'm listening to what he's saying and he's telling him these same things, I'm like, that's bullshit. What are you talking about? Like, you can't tell me I got a short lease and I need to produce and play better. And then I play better against one of the top teams in the AFC, but we lose. But you mad because I'm not sad enough? And that's why you bench me? That's what happened. The week before the Ravens game, he get on there and says, well, look, man, you got to play better. Whoop-de-whoop. He can't be turning. Fair, that's fine. Can't turn the ball over. I'm not arguing that Haskins is lighting it up. But then he goes out, throws for 400-some yards against the Ravens, couple touchdowns, no big turnovers, and they lose the game. And he's happy about that. Oh, man, he shouldn't be too happy in the locker room. Yo, bro, you just told him if he didn't play better, he was going to get benched. He played better, and then you bench him. And you bench him for somebody to say, well, he gives us the best chance to win over these next 4 games because they for the division. You're in the same spot as the division when you started, and now this dude got a broken leg.
Well,
so
gotta put him out there some point. Might as well.
I mean, like, and then now you can't really trade him because you haven't been playing him, so people can't see. So they assume that he doesn't know how to play, and it's just like he hasn't had. I think he just got to 16 starts the week before he got benched. So you benched him after one season of seeing what he could do, essentially. Like, it's just, and yeah. So it was just one of those, like, they thought they could win the division, which was ridiculous because even if you win the division, would you go get one playoff game? Like, you will get smashed by a way better team. Come on now. So, college football though, do you think they finished the season? Like, I don't know if they finished the season. The SEC has had 4 games postponed this weekend. Big Ten, I think, has 2. Yeah, I don't think they finished this season. I don't know how this happens to get us to a playoff.
I think they do. Because we already know it's Alabama, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Clemson.
Yeah, okay.
So as long as none of them, and you know, the only reason Clemson lost was because the coronavirus thing had to sit out. And he wasn't really sick. He just had to sit out because it was ACC rules.
Yeah.
So they could be okay with them losing to Notre Dame. So that's the 4.
Well, overtime too. That was the other thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I couldn't understand all them Notre Dame students rushing the field. You just beat them in double overtime, and they didn't have their starting QB.
They just being kids, man. You know, being locked up, and something good happen.
Yeah.
Hit the field, do something. But yeah. I think we kind of got that figured out. Like who number 5 is Texas A&M. Alabama already beat them, and then like 6 is Florida, I think.
Yeah.
And then it's like BYU or something.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Unless I don't know if is the SEC. I guess the SEC is playing the championship game. If they do that and Florida wins, maybe they're switching some stuff up. But Florida not beating them.
Yeah, Florida's not beating. Florida's not beating Alabama. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty true. Yeah. I was looking forward to that Maryland Ohio State game this weekend though.
Yeah.
Just to see if Maryland was like beating up on cupcakes or if they was like going to be.
I think they're good. I think they're legit. I think they're legit. I think a couple of years things will be pretty good.
I'm hoping so. I mean, it's always better when there's good football in and around DC. Like, it's just always better. Whether it's the Washington football team, like I tell people all the time, like I'm from DC and I'm a Cowboys fan, but like make no mistake about it, like if they went 14-2, that's great with me because that means of the 16 football weeks, and of course lose to Dallas twice, but like all those other weeks that they win, like the city's a much better place. Everything literally runs smoother if the team wins on Sunday. Like everybody's smoother. You go down to DC, you need something done in DC government, you better hope that team win, because if they do, oh yeah, I have you out, baby. Come on, man. Did you see that game yesterday? Oh yeah. They lose, everybody mad. Nah, I can't help you. So I want the team to do well, because like the city's just much happier when they do. But one way or the other,
I'm in Texas, so it's like that times 3. Like people legit like pissed because the Texans, and then it'd be like that. You know, you're talking to them and they're pissed, and then it's just randomly they're going to like, we need to fire Bill O'Brien. We need to fire Bill O'Brien. You know, that's how it used to be. You know, I haven't been out since the pandemic that much, but yeah, that's how it used to be. Just, you know, they have a bad attitude and then just randomly bust out into the Texans are terrible, man. They need why they trade it? Why did they do this? You know, so yeah, I understand.
yeah, I was asked about them because how they feel about wasting Deshaun Watson's prime. That's essentially what they're doing.
It's not Deshaun Watson, it's JJ Watt.
Well, that too.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
And that's got the people that pay season tickets upset. So they got to do something fast, or they're gonna trade JJ Watt and piss them people off even more.
I think that's the only reason he didn't get traded this time around. Like,
that's the only reason.
Yeah, like
the only reason.
Yeah,
because I think he's ready to go. I think the team needs him to go to get some more draft picks because they don't have any. But the owner probably was like, "Nah, we need JJ Watt. He's the face of the franchise, even though he's got a young African American quarterback that's going to be here for hopefully many years. JJ Watt is the face of the franchise."
Yeah, but then they go and do something like fire their PR lady, who everybody loves, who everybody loved, including JJ Watt.
You know why that was, though.
Nah,
if you've seen her Twitter, if you've seen her Twitter page, her personal page.
Oh nah, I haven't. Okay, never mind.
She was not for the Trumpness in the world. Not knowing that Harris County sits on a very red island. It is a blue island in a very red sea. So
Gotcha. Okay.
And so they think that's part of. I don't know exactly what happened. They didn't really say, but
no, that makes sense.
It doesn't fit the culture.
Oh no, I was trying to that's what I was trying to figure out. Like, so, but now you say that, and then I remember their owner was one of what was it, the late owner who said inmates running an asylum?
Yep.
So that's the culture. And so she doesn't fit in that culture. Well, yeah. So they got some big questions to figure out. But that was all I had for this episode. You have anything else, definitely bring it to the front if we forgot anything.
Nah, man. Nothing. That's the thing. Golf. We talk golf. Tiger shot a 68.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Ooh, I was going to ask you think he makes the cut, but I mean, that puts him in a pretty good position to make the cut.
He's tied for 7th or something.
Ooh, I mean, look, if he gets close enough to have a run on Sunday, like, for one, I know CBS or ESPN, whoever's broadcasting is going to be happy as hell. They can show Tiger on Saturday, and if they can show him on Sunday in the late afternoon, they going to be like, cha-ching, which is true, because, like, I'll flip over if Tiger's in contention. I'll watch a little bit of it. And, like, we'll see.
Hopefully, but you know how Tiger's been recently.
Yeah, and, his body breaking down, and he getting old, man. Like, he getting old. He getting old. So we'll see how it goes. But that would be cool to have a Tiger Woods Masters moment in November. That would fit 2020 in so many ways.
Yeah.
So, but as always, man, it's always a pleasure having you on, man. We'll definitely
Thanks for having me.
No problem, and we'll make sure everybody else is on to the best of their ability. But Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for listening to another edition of Jive Time Turkeys. And until next time, peace.